All right, guys, little aftermath update. Finally got to run this car, schedule allowing. I got to run this car at last night, September 25th, Ashland Fairgrounds. Had to jump up to the pro stock class. Well, very underbuilt Volvo. Start off back here, back end got crunched a lot more. If you're looking at previous videos, this is all opened up more. Now it's crushed, folded in real nice. Plenty of tire clearance. Very happy with how the back end went. Very happy how the back end went. I actually thought it was going to go down a lot more than what it did, but it actually just kind of went in. It was packing real nice. Not too red. The red's a different story, but not too many hits over here. They kind of left the whole right side alone. Over here, they really nailed me. You guys can see the black tarp for my gas tank. All that. They gave me some good shots. Got a flat tire, so we put the spare on. Got a bumper all the way underneath there, but nose actually started coming up. You can see right here the nose actually went up a little bit. Not too crazy. Still actually had the aluminum bumper on. I left the aluminum front bumper on from factory, but it ripped off this side, and hopefully you guys can see, but that frame rail actually is going down, and this frame rail right there's the bumper. What's left of the bumper shock. We did cut it to get the bumper off, but all of this, the core support, was actually back into here. My phone is actually straight with the power steering pump, and you can see how the pulley's just that far bent. All my bolts on the water pump are totally screwed. All this core support was shoved back. Radiator was shoved back to the motor, and the bumper was pinching everything. There's my coil. It actually mounts to the strut. And then here's part of the core support. Right through here you can see all that. Busted all that. Strut tower moved back up against my brake booster and fill piece. I'm straight with the motor, and you can see my throttle here is tweaked. Timing covers broke from all the abuse. But yeah, it's pretty twisted. This frame rail, and hopefully you guys can see, it's actually still straight. It only buckled right here. It's actually popping out right here. There, and I think if I go under, oh my bad, go under. I mean, it doesn't look too terrible, but at the same time, like I said, it's bowed out somewhere back through here. So, but as far as suspension, this is 1988 Volvo bone stock suspension. I mean, you know, it still moves. Didn't stiffen anything. Didn't weld anything. Back when I first started running this, it was only built for stock rules, so no reinforcements. There's one of my motor mounts. You can see how it's done. It did break, but it actually broke down here, right there. It actually broke that ear, and then on the back side. But the bottom and the bottom piece and the top piece are only aluminum, not steel. So obviously that's going to be the next weak point. But as far as the stuff I added, everything is still holding up. Everything, you know, basically looks good. Another shot of that frame rail. Looks pretty nasty. But I'm gonna say she's done. It does run and drive. I actually drove it. I actually didn't drive it on the trailer, but I drove it back to the trailer and we winched it up. So, come to this side. I lost my power steering belt. Belt runs from crank over to AC. Ended up losing that when everything came in. This piece right here, we bent it out of the way, but you can see, maybe see the rub mark right there where it was actually rubbing the tire. Luckily it was flat with the tire, so it didn't pop it. Overall, it does run and drive under its own power. I'm not going to worry about running it again. I'm going to call it done. I'm going to say it's done. With how bad this frame rail is twisted in every which direction. Could I straighten everything, plate it and run it again? Yes. Could I do it say relatively cheap? No. The amount of plating we're allowed for pro stock and how far gone that front end is, I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot to it in order to keep it there. So basically, all it's going to do is just crush even faster than what it did. It just, front end's basically toast. Like I said, this was built to stock rules a few years ago for another promoter that's no longer doing shows. So that's why I have all the crazy welds on the doors and on the trunk, because they allow, in their stock class, they allowed that kind of welding for the trunk and the doors, but you weren't allowed to stiffen anything up, weren't allowed to change out suspension stuff, any of that. So now they're gone. I had to run smash it promotions and jump up from stock to pro stock. So, but it still runs, still drives. Let's make sure it's in park. Like I said, it still runs, still drives. What I'm going to do is just basically pull motor, tranny, rear end out, possibly the front. I'll go over the front suspension. If anything's still straight, I'll save that. I'll definitely save the rack. I am planning on buying another Volvo, hopefully soon, and start the build on that. That will be a more in-depth build, especially with me gonna have to run it in pro stocks. Gonna be a lot more work done to it. Everybody tells me these cars are junk. The front suspension's junk, the motor's junk, the transmissions are junk. This car's been through 3 or 4 derbies now. Never once have I had the motor overheat. Never lost any gears with the transmission. Front suspension still looks straight. Granted, I haven't fully looked into it. Rear end, I welded the gears. People say you can't do that because it makes them soft. The axle's soft. I welded them. Been through 3 or 4 different derbies. Still together. Still moves. Bottom line, these Volvos are damn near indestructible. I'm gonna run them. I'm set. I don't want no Camrys. I don't want no Luminas. I'm sticking with my Volvos. Now, gut and go, if I decide to do gut and goes, that'll be a different story, but as far as pro stock builds, which is the type of builds I like to do, it's going to be Volvos. So, but radiator went all the way to the motor, like I said. Not sure how well it will show. There's where the water pump pulley came through. And if I flip it over, I think, yeah, right here, that's the top of the radiator where the top filler neck goes. And ain't she nice and pretty? I think we can get maybe one more run out of it. What do y'all think? But gonna basically start stripping it down, get it ready to haul into junk, pack it full, and send it on its way. So